What's going on, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Saving Bray. Now, I'm sure you're probably sitting there thinking, what is going on here? What is this series? Well, let me try and explain it to you as simply as possible. Basically, Saving Bray is a career mode, but not one that you're probably familiar with. Now, in this series, I am taking Bray Wanderers from the Airtricity League and putting them in the Barclays Premier League. Now, they're a half-a-star team. I've taken out Bournemouth from the Premier League as they were the lowest rated team in the Premier League at 3.5 star, and I'm putting Bray Wanderers in their place. So Bray Wanderers, why am I doing this challenge? Why am I doing this series? Well, basically I've been noticing of late that I've been getting a lot of comments from you guys telling me why you're not as enthralled by my videos as you used to be, and the big reason, as you guys would say, and it was backed up by the survey that I ran on Thursday as well, is that I tend to basically make a team really good really quickly, and you guys don't like me winning all the games all the time, or so you think. So because of that, I thought, why don't I try and flip it and take a really poor side, one of the worst teams in FIFA. On the initial database, they were actually considered the worst team in FIFA, and basically put them in one of the most competitive leagues in the world and one of the strongest leagues in the world as well, the Barclays Premier League. So that's why I'm doing this challenge, really. It's basically trying to play to your feedback and see what you guys would want. And again, most of you guys, backed up by the survey as well, seem to suggest that one of the reasons why you don't like my videos as much is because I win a lot of the time. Well, with Bray Wanderers in the Premier League, the reason why this is called Saving Bray is because that's what it's essentially going to be. I'm going to try and keep Bray Wanderers in the Premier League, and I may not be sounding like it's going to be too much of a challenge, but put it this way, it's going to be one of my biggest challenges yet, and I'll probably say it is my toughest challenge yet. So Bray Wanderers in the Premier League, what's their team like? Well, they're a half-a-star team, and their highest rated player is 61 overall. That's Connor Kenner. He's a 31-year-old centre-back, and every other player is either in the 50s or the 40s for overall. Now, we're in a league which features teams like Chelsea and Manchester City and Manchester United and Arsenal and so on and so forth, teams which are absolutely fantastic and really, really strong. So the idea of keeping Bray Wanderers in this league and keeping them away from relegation, that's why it's called Saving Bray. Well, it's going to be a really tough challenge, and again, without doubt, one of my toughest challenges yet. So this is what their team looks like. Of course, it's really, really poor. Everyone's earning the same money, which is kind of funny, £2,250 per week. Everyone's on the exact same salary, so that's good. Unity, I like that. We're going to need that as well. And the budget we've got, even with the boost at the start of the game, is only £560,000. So the first thing I decided to do is put loads of players on the transfer list, buy a youth scout, and just hope, if nothing else, I can bring in some okay players. So we sent him out to Ireland. We'll see what he can get, and even that's going to cost us around £100,000. So a sixth of our budget is essentially already gone just by buying a youth scout and sending him out, and that's before we've even got a player into the team yet. So yeah, Saving Bray, it's going to be a really difficult challenge, and again, I really want to do what you guys want. And again, it seemed like from the survey I ran on Thursday, and you can still give your feedback in the survey as well. I'll leave a link to it in the description if you haven't seen it yet. I basically just put out a survey and asked you guys for some feedback really on my channel based on what I got from the survey and based on the comments I've been getting of late. Really, loads of you guys just seem to think I don't have a challenge on FIFA, and I don't like to sound boastful, I don't like to sound arrogant, that's not my character, but I will admit I am quite good at the game, and I do understand that a lot of you guys do get bored of the fact that I win most of the time. So with Bray, the chances of that happening is quite slim. Put it this way, if we're fighting for Champions League qualification come the end of the year, then I don't really know what to tell you, to be honest, but that's, essentially that's not going to happen. So because of that, we're going to have a real challenge here, and this is without doubt going to be my toughest challenge yet. I'm going to try and keep Bray Wanderers in the Premier League with their really poor team. Now, we did get ourselves into a pre-season tournament called the Invitational Cup. It featured some really, really poor teams. We did get through our group stage before taking on Derry City in the semi-finals of this competition, but as you will see, we didn't get to the final as Derry City managed to beat us, which is a bit of a shame. So we didn't get the maximum prize money available, but still did get quite a bit of it, which is good to see. Again, only a few £100,000, not a lot to be honest, but anything will help with Bray Wanderers, let's just put it that way. So yeah, with Bray, it's going to be a real challenge, and because we've got basically no money to work with, it also means as well we can't go out and sign loads of good, really good, strong players right from the beginning to basically make our star rating way higher right from the start. It means that we're going to have to sort of resort to signing like free agent players and loan players as well. I might potentially get a scout future star from the catalogue as well. I'll see what you guys think about that. But either way, mainly the players we'll be looking at are free agents, because we can barely afford their wages, let alone paying a club a transfer fee. So because of that, free agents really and loan offers are are the only deals we're going to do. I don't predict us signing any players from a club. I'd imagine the only players we would buy are either, again, free transfers or potentially one or two loan players, but I'm not really too keen on loaning in loads of high potential young players because I've done that before with Racing Santander in the first season of my Club and Country series last year, and it was kind of pointless because loads of those players never even came back and we just used them for a year and that was it. I sort of want to buy players who, even if they're really, really poor, we'll always remember them as proper Bray Wanderers players and not players that were loaned in. So we're looking at the free agents list, and I put loads of players on a short list after scouting them, and the problem was that a lot of players wanted like 7, 8, 9 grand a week, and it may not sound like a lot, and to a Premier League club it's not a lot, but to Bray Wanderers, an Airtricity League side that have just been plonked into the Premier League, put into the Premier League, it's a lot of money. You know, everyone else here is on 2,250 quid a week, so they're going to be seeing these new guys coming in thinking, hang on a minute, why are they on a few grand higher than we're on? So, you know, these players want, you know, a little bit more than what we're prepared to pay. I should say what we want to pay, but I am prepared to pay it. And the players I was looking at really primarily were Esteban Juria, a goalkeeper, 69 overall, 33 years old, to St. Ricketts, 27 years old, 61 overall, Canadian striker who looks really good just for the pace alone, and also Alejandro Chumacero, who became my first signing, and he's a central midfielder, 24 years old, from Bolivia, 64 overall. He for some reason reminds me of Bastian Schweinsteiger, probably just the appearance. But either way, these are the three players we brought in right from the beginning then. Hegazi, Juria, and also Chumacero. Sorry, Hegazi was the first one. He's an Egyptian centre-back, 6'5", 24 years old, and he looks okay at 65 overall, but nothing amazing. And again, these players coming in right here, even though they're on free transfers, are going to become the best players in the team by a few ratings as well, because all the other players here, apart from McKenna, who's a 61 overall centre-back, are in the 50s. So Juria came in as well. We didn't have the financial means to pull the signing off to begin with, so we had to adjust the budget. But even though we signed these three players right here on free transfers, basically all of our money has already gone with Bray Wanderers. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, come on, it's going to be pointless now, you're just going to sign all the 60 and, close to 70 overall players on the free agents list, and it'll bump your star rating up to like 3-star or something. Don't worry, we're not going to be able to do that because we can't afford to. So at most, we'll probably only be able to assign like 5 or possibly even 6 free agents at most. And that's even with selling players on from Bray here as well. So don't worry about that. We're still going to have a really big challenge. I'd imagine the highest I'll get the star rating to before the summer transfer window is over is probably 2. And that's still going to be absolutely pathetic compared to the other teams in this division. Because we've taken Bournemouth out of it now, the lowest star rating apart from us is 4-star. So as you can see the summer transfer window going on here, we do manage to pick up St. Ricketts eventually, although he did keep on declining the contracts. I found it funny, he said he didn't want to leave because he was settled where he was, and I was thinking, where? You're in the free agents pool, mate, and I understand he'll probably be in his native Canada at home, chilling, but I was thinking he'd rather be unemployed and claiming dole money than come and play for Bray Wanderers. That sort of sums it all up, really, but either way, we were selling players as well, and most of the players were indeed put on the transfer list, and we do need to try and change this side as soon as possible, really, to at least give us a chance of keeping Bray in the Premier League, because right now we're still half a star. Want to try and change that, get to 1-star, possibly 1.5-star if we can before the transfer window is over. But of course that is going to be really, really difficult because again, we're still signing really poor players. The players are bringing in, it's not like we're selling players that are 40 overall and bringing in players that are 80 overall. We're selling players that are in their mid 50 overalls and bringing in low 60 overalls. So we're only just about increasing the player ability here. But I found this really funny as well. Whilst we were doing this, my scout came back and he scouted 2 players from Ireland, 29 to 41 overall and 36 to 50 overall, I think it was, and the potentials are terrible as well, but I was thinking, okay, we may as well just sign this guy Jason Carey here, and then I realised we didn't have enough money to do that, and I tried to change the budget, and we still didn't have enough money to sign him. So this is the point with Bray Wanderers, this is why it's such a big challenge. We don't even have enough money to sign a youth player to our academy. Like, that's how bad it is. We can't even sign a 15-year-old, 36 to 50 overall, 55 to 77 potential player. Well, we don't even know where his best position is based on the formation little thing there on the bottom right. We don't even know where his best position is. We don't know how good he's going to be. He's going to be terrible. We know that. We can't even sign him though because we don't even have the money to do it. So we can't even sign a youth player yet. That's how bad it is. But either way, we were still selling some players, and this team is going to be really poor. And basically, after this sale here, this is the last thing we do. In fact, he doesn't get sold, he just gets a transfer accepted. After that was the last thing we could do before we're about to go into the first game of the season, which is going to be against Aston Villa at home. So trapdoor avoidance is indeed the goal for Bray Wanderers. They should have called call that article Saving Bray really like this is, because this is going to be, you know, one of my toughest challenges yet, without doubt. Saving Bray Wanderers, keeping Bray Wanderers in the Premier League. This is the final squad you'll see before we go into the first game of the new season, which will be in the next episode, which again is at home to Aston Villa. So already a relegation 6-pointer probably in the first game of the season, where we'll take on a Remygards Villa. That will be in the next episode, so look forward to that, and thank you very much for watching the first episode of Saving Bray. I really do hope you guys are excited for this challenge. Again, something completely different and something which should be really, really tough and hopefully really enjoyable for you guys to watch as well. So thank you for watching. Please do leave a like if you're excited for this series. I certainly am, and I'll see you for the second episode of Saving Bray, where the Premier League season will begin with this one-star team now. That's good. Sort of, kind of, not really. Very soon. See you then.